sample space. Sample space is the collection of all outcomes, which means this. Back to our friendly spinner. A, B, C, D. If I asked you for the sample space, you just have to, a lot of times we put it in this little brace thing, you just have to list all the different outcomes you could get. The sample space of spinning once, if you spin the spinner just one time, your only choices are A, B, C, and D. How does that change if I asked you to give the sample space if you spin twice? Well, I'm glad you asked. What are my possible outcomes if I spin the thing twice? Well, you got to go through a long list. You could spin an A and then another A. You could spin an A and a B. You could spin a A and a C. You could spin an A and a D. Then you could spin a B and an A B and a B and a C, and a B and a D. Then you could spin A, CA, CB, CC, CD, and you could spin A, DA, DB, DC, DD. Isn't that exciting, children? And why would you want a sample space? Well, if I would ask you what the probability of you spinning an A and then a second A, you would go to your sample space and say, oh, okay, how many of my spins in my sample space are double A's? How many do you see? Just one. How many total possibilities were there? Anybody? 16. You have a 1 in 16 probability of spinning double A's. What are your odds of spinning double A? 1, 2, 15. Because how many of these are not double A's? What if I asked you this? What would be the probability of spinning at least one A in 2 spins? So you look at your sample space, and how many of them have at least one A in them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of my spins have at least one A out of how many? 16. The odds are pretty good. Well, odds. What would be the odds of me spinning that? 7 to 6. No. How many choices do you get? 7. How many are not? How many would not have an A in them? 9. Your odds would be 7 to 9. Probability 7/16. I don't know what the percent would be for chance, but everybody's good with that? Take out a blank piece of paper.